What's up everyone, my name is Marie, welcome to my channel and welcome to another speed build. So for today's video, I'm building a modern family home. Well, is it modern? Well, yeah, it's quite modern. And I'm building it in the world of Evergreen Harbor, as you can see, and I activated the Modern Developments Neighborhood Action Plan. As you can probably tell if you are familiar with this world. Which is one of the things that I really love about Evergreen Harbor is that you can change it around. You can change the way it looks by activating different neighborhood action plans. You can have it look all dirty and you can have a lot of trash around, or you can have it look very modernized and very clean. And I love that about Evergreen Harbor. It gives you all these different vibes. But yeah, I really enjoy building in this specific neighborhood, or actually all of the neighborhoods with the Modern Developments Neighborhood Action Plan activated. I just love that. I love the way it makes the world look. I love how it makes it look all modern and like more eco-friendly and whatnot. So yeah, I decided to build a cutesy little family home over here. For the longest time, I wasn't really sure where I wanted to build this because I wasn't really planning on making this house like very eco, very modern, very eco-friendly, that whole vibe that comes with eco lifestyle. I wasn't really planning on building one of those houses. I just really wanted to make a cutesy little brick family home, and I thought I wanted to build it in either Newcrest or Willow Creek at first, but I needed a little bit of a break from those base game worlds. I've been building there a couple times in a row now, and I really love it there. But yeah, I really needed a break from that, so I figured that a cutesy brick family home would also go very nicely in Evergreen Harbor. So that's why I decided to build it over here. And as you can see, the whole house is nearly all brick except for the garage. I used a dark green paneling for the garage because I really wanted to create at least a little bit of contrast, because making everything brick would be a little bit boring to look at, in my opinion, because the house is quite big. It ended up being quite big. So yeah, that would be a lot of brick and a little bit boring in my opinion. I always like to create a little bit of contrast when it comes to wallpapers and whatnot, especially for the exterior of the house, for the interior as well. But I always like to make the exterior look as interesting as possible. So yeah, the biggest part of the house is brick, as you can see, and then the garage is a dark green paneling. And I really love these colors together. The brick is a little bit of a creamy beigey color, and then the brick is that darker green, as you can see, and I just really enjoy how it looks together. And for this house, I was also utilizing a lot of the recolored base game items. For the exterior of the house, I was using a lot of windows. I think all of the windows I used are from base game, if I'm not mistaken, and I used a recolored or newly added swatch. I used a bright white swatch, and it's a really good one because the white swatch that we used to have for these windows, I mean, it was nice, but it wasn't really white. It was more on the gray or like beigey side of things. And we actually got a new bright white swatch, and it looks so nice. It looks so crisp and just really, really nice. So I used these white windows for this house, as you can see. And then for the front door, I used an eco lifestyle door because I kind of wanted this house to blend in with the rest of the houses in the neighborhood, even though it looks a lot different. It looks a little bit more on the suburban side of things, but I still really like how it looks in this neighborhood. So yeah, I'm really happy that I decided to build it here on this lot. And you can really see the shape of the house come together. I did use a couple of solar panels. I placed a couple of solar panels on the roof. However, if you wanted this house to be a little bit more eco-friendly, you could always add more, or you could add some windmills and whatnot. You could add some dew collectors, that sort of thing. I just didn't really do that because I didn't really want to focus on the whole eco lifestyle or like eco-friendly aspect for this build specifically. But obviously you could go ahead and do that if you own Eco Lifestyle, then that's an easy change to make, because I did use a lot of items for this house that aren't necessarily good for the eco footprint. You could always turn the eco footprint effects off, of course, for your save file, for your gameplay. But I used a lot of brick and a lot of concrete for the driveway, for example, and just for the flooring that I use for the exterior. I use a lot of just materials that aren't necessarily good for the eco footprint, like I just explained. So yeah, I could totally understand if you wanted to swap out some of the materials that I used, or if you wanted to make the house a little bit more eco-friendly. But those are just easy changes to make if you wanted to do that. I don't always want to pay attention to using eco-friendly materials and whatnot, because I don't know, I just don't always want to limit myself that way. So for this house, even though I built it in Evergreen Harbor, I didn't really want to limit myself too much. So I just went crazy and I used all the materials that I wanted to use. But yeah, you can see the landscaping come together. It's quite well put together, if you will. It's very it's all planned out, and I use a lot of hedges everywhere. I placed a couple of trees, as you can see. I really like that that pointy, like evergreen tree that you can see at the front of the house. I really like that one. It's a base game debug tree, and I think it just looks so cute. So I placed it at the front of the house, and yeah, you can see that I didn't really have the space to place a backyard, but I did create a side yard, if you will. And I just really love the layout for this house on this lot specifically. I really like that the yard is on the side of the house instead of on the back of the house. I don't know, I really like the way that it looks, and I also really like the way the backyard, or the side yard rather, ends up looking. We're not furnishing that one for a while, but yeah, I really wanted to point out that I really enjoy how the backyard ended up looking. I think it's very cute. There are some activities in there and stuff. And you can see that the garage that I placed, I also actually furnished as a garage. Usually what I like to do, since we don't really have functional cars in this game, so you don't really need to have an actual garage to park your car. So what I usually like to do is I like to convert the garage into, I don't know, an extra bedroom or a study area or both, or I don't know, make it into a living area or a kitchen, something like that. But for this house, I actually kept it as a garage, and I think it looks really cool. I placed another debug car in there, so there is the more like family looking car, the little minivan kind of car, is on the driveway. And then there is another car in the garage, which I thought would be, I don't know, just a little bit of a more expensive car, or like a car that one of the family members is working on still. I don't really know. I just figured that they would have two cars. And then for the garage, I actually also put laundry in there, and yeah, it's a really filled up garage. But it definitely is a garage space, and I really love that about it. But you can see that we are moving on to the living area, and the floor plan for this house is very open. So the living area and kitchen and dining are all in one room. And I really like that for this house. It makes it look very modern. The interior for this house is definitely more on the modern side, as you can probably already tell by the furniture items that I'm using in this living area. I created a sectional couch, and I went for that green color. I thought that that would be fun since the garage on the exterior is green as well. Obviously, it's a different color green, but I still liked that little detail of using green items on the inside of the house as well. So that's something I personally really enjoyed while putting together this house. But yeah, you can see that I used that green sectional couch, and it looks all modern, and I created a large, I don't really know what to call it, like that large shelving unit underneath the windows. I just used overhead cabinets from Dream Home Decorator. I placed a TV on top, and then I placed a bookcase as well, and a chair and a poof. That could be a cutesy little reading nook, like a little reading corner. And lately, what I've really been enjoying, or not so much enjoying, something I've just randomly been doing for my interiors, is I will just go and place the most important objects first, like the couch and the entertainment unit and the coffee table, stuff like that. I will just lay out the living room area first, and then after that, I will start cluttering things up, which is funny because I used to just clutter things up as I went. Like, as soon as I placed the coffee table, I would clutter it up. As soon as I placed the bookshelf, I would clutter it up. But now lately, I've just kind of been putting off the cluttering for some reason. And I just like to place the whole, like, I just really like to have the overall layout first before I start cluttering things up. So that's a new thing that I've developed randomly, but it kind of works for me. I don't know, I just kind of like to lay things out first and then move on to the next area and then come back to it later. Maybe make some small changes and then clutter it up. I don't know, it's something that really works for me for some reason. So yeah, that's what I've been doing for this house as well. And as you can see, I placed the TV in front of the windows, which isn't something I usually like to do. I don't really like placing TVs in front of windows. It's just a pet peeve of mine. But for this house, the layout really worked best if I did it this way. So I did it this way, and I feel like it looks fine for some reason for this house. Also because I put the TV a little bit more to the side and to where the curtain is covering the window a little bit. So it's not too bad, I don't think, but in real life, I would never place a TV in front of a window. I don't know, it's just not something I would ever do. But for The Sims, I mean, it's okay. Your Sims don't really care. The sunlight doesn't really bother them when they're watching TV. So it's all good. And I still think that it looks really nice this way for this house specifically. And yeah, you can see that in the corner there, I placed a chair and a lamp. So that's a cutesy little reading nook. And then I just placed a nice artwork on the wall behind the couch. And then for the kitchen, I actually used these, I was gonna say debug, I meant to say base game countertops in a new swatch. And let me tell you, I am so happy with this swatch for these countertops. It just looks so good in this house. This is the exact swatch that I needed for this house. It fits perfectly with the rest of the color scheme in my opinion, and it goes perfectly with the floors and the walls and whatnot. And I was just, oh my goodness, I was so thankful for this swatch, and I'm so happy that we have this swatch now and all of the new swatches really for the base game counters. But especially for this set of counters, because I really like this set of counters, but I just never use them because the swatches that we had them in before were just not good. I'm sorry, the black one was nice, but then the color of the countertop was really weird and kind of gross looking. So I don't know, I'm so thankful that we have these new swatches, and I just really like how it looks in this house specifically, combined with the lighter wood tones and the creamy swatch for the fridge and the sink. I don't know, I just think it looks so nice. The sink and the fridge are from the Cool Kitchen pack, and I just really love this swatch. It's such a nice, soft, beigey, golden color. It's so nice, and it looks so good in this kitchen. So yeah, I really love how this kitchen ended up looking. It's very modern and kind of basic at the same time, but not too boring. It's very neutral. Everything in this house is kind of neutral, except for the couch. The couch is that green color, as you probably remember, but still, I feel like that swatch of green, that specific color green is not too crazy. Like, I feel like a lot of people would still be able to like that color, even though they don't necessarily enjoy colored furniture items. I still feel like that green color would work for a lot of people with a lot of different tastes. So yeah, as you can see, I was cluttering up the kitchen. It's not too cluttered, but it still definitely looks kind of lived in. And here I was trying to swap out or trying to create a backsplash in the kitchen, but for some reason, I realized that later, for some reason, all of my clutter items got deleted. All of my decorations got deleted as soon as I swapped out or changed the wallpaper in the kitchen for some reason. It was really weird. So I just undid that and I changed it back, and then everything was fine. But then later on, I was actually able to still swap it out. So I still changed it out for a green tile from Spot A, but you'll see that once we move on to the tour of the house at the end of this video after the speed build. But yeah, you can see that I was working with platforms for this build a tiny little bit. You can see that the dining area that we're working on right now is on a little bit of a higher platform, which I thought made the whole layout of the house just a little bit more interesting. So I really enjoyed that. At first, this is where I wanted to place the kitchen, but I figured that it would be, I don't know, just a little bit too small for the kitchen maybe. And I really like that I decided to go ahead and put the actual dining table on that higher up platform. I just think that it looks really nice. So I'm very happy that I did that, and I chose a table, that glass table from the fitness stuff pack. I barely ever use that one, but it comes in a swatch that matches perfectly with the green couch. It has a little green detail that's the exact same color as the couch, so I was so happy about that. And it finally gave me a chance to use that table because I do think it's very pretty and very interesting. I never really use it. But yeah, for this house, it worked perfectly fine, and it's actually very nice. So yeah, downstairs we also have a half bathroom. As you can see, I just put a toilet and a sink in there, and it's a small little half bathroom. And then upstairs we have 2 full bathrooms, which one of them is an ensuite for the parents, and the other one is a hall bathroom upstairs for the kids to share. And this house has 3 bedrooms in total. I just realized that I haven't talked about that yet for this build. But yeah, this house has 3 bedrooms in total. Like I just said, a master bedroom, obviously, and 2 kids' bedrooms, or teenager bedrooms, really, because I was thinking that in this house, I didn't really have a storyline planned out. I just thought that this would be a family with 2 teenagers, and then one of the teenagers is a little bit older. They are probably a senior or a junior in high school, and then the other teenager is a bit younger. I was thinking they could be a freshman in high school. So there is a little bit of age difference between the teenagers, but not too much. So I kind of still feel like it's a shame that we don't have preteens in this game, because otherwise one of these kids, the youngest one, would definitely be a preteen. But that's not something that we have in this game, unfortunately. But I still kind of wanted to try and reflect their different ages in their bedrooms, so that's what I tried to do. But in reality, you would probably have 2 teenagers, and then you would kind of just need to pretend that one of them is a lot younger than the other one. Which, I don't know, I still feel like it's definitely something I still want. We're not getting it, I don't think. They're not adding a whole different age group to The Sims 4 at this point. I don't think they will ever do that, which is fine. But I really hope that sometime in the future for The Sims 5, they will give us an extra age group, or they will make teenagers look a little bit younger, because it's such a shame that teenagers basically look the same as young adults. Like, they basically look the same. Their bodies are a tad bit different when they age up to young adults, but their faces are basically, they're basically just the same. They're even the same height, I think. Teenagers could be a little bit shorter than young adults, but I'm pretty sure that they're the same height. And it's just such a shame. I just really wish that teenagers would look a bit younger, because right now in the game, they definitely look like they're 18. Whereas I would love it if they looked like 14 or 15. And then it would be perfect if we did have another age group for preteens where they would look like 10, 11, 12 years old. I think that would be so cool. But yeah, sadly, we don't have that. So you just kind of have to pretend when you create your storylines, and that's what I like to do anyway, so it's all good. But yeah, as you can see, we are working on the garage right now, where I added laundry machines, and for this build, this time I actually did remember to put laundry baskets as well. So there is a laundry basket in the garage, and then in the bedrooms or the bathrooms upstairs, we have laundry baskets as well. But as you can see, I did actually just decorate the bathrooms upstairs off camera, because this build for some reason was taking me quite a while, and I really didn't want this video to be a million hours long, so I just decided to go ahead and furnish the bathrooms upstairs off camera. But obviously, if you want to stick around for the tour at the end of my video, which is something I always do for my speed builds, I will obviously show you the bathrooms that I did, but they're really basic. I like them though, but they're kind of basic, so you didn't miss much. But yeah, we do have a tiny little landing area upstairs. It's quite small. I did put a a bookcase up there that's reachable actually, just for an extra bookcase, because obviously I also placed a very large bookcase downstairs, but I figured an extra one on the landing area would be perfect. So that's what I did. And then after the landing, we're moving on to the parents' bedroom. As you can probably tell, I did use a lot of dream home decorator items for this build, but I can't get over these items. They're so good. I still love them so much. And obviously something that I always like to do is I like to match the master bedroom, the parents' bedroom, to the overall color scheme and vibe of the rest of the house. Because obviously the parents would have probably been the people to decide what color scheme and what kind of furniture to go for the rest of the house. They probably put everything together. So yeah, obviously it would be their taste, and I like to reflect that in their bedroom as well. So that's kind of what I did. So I used some dream home decorator items in that green swatch in here as well. And then I gave them a dresser from Seasons, and I just hung up some clothes with the modular system from the dream home decorator set as well. And I just hung some clothes on there, and I think it looks really cute. And then I just put some different decorations on top of the dresser, put a couple of plants and some hair products and stuff like that. And I put a laundry basket in here as well, since I don't think I put one in their bathroom because it didn't really fit in there. And then for the kids, I didn't put laundry baskets in their bedrooms, but I did put a laundry basket in their bathroom, so they should be fine as well. And I'm using this rug from the, what's it called? The Loft, the Industrial Loft Kit. I keep forgetting the names of the packs. Honestly, we have so many packs for The Sims 4 that I can't remember all these names. I really need to sit here and think about it for a second before I remember. But yeah, I'm using that rug, and I've been using that in all of my builds lately because I just love that rug. It's so fuzzy and cute and cozy and just so usable for different types of homes. So yeah, I use it in here as well. And then after the parents' bedroom, we're actually moving on to the oldest teenager's bedroom. So this teenager, their bedroom is very cutesy and light pink, and it has a lot of pastel colors and lighter wood tones. It's very matchy-matchy and a little bit more colorful as well. And this teenager, I was thinking, would be very much into hair and makeup and fashion, and I tried to reflect that in this bedroom as well. I also gave them a desk because we don't have an office area in this house, so I decided to just put a laptop in this teenager's bedroom because they would probably need it for school as well. So yeah, I gave them a little desk with a laptop on it in their bedroom, and I still kind of need to playtest this bedroom because, as you can see, the dresser or the wardrobe that I created and the desk, like the space in between is a little bit cramped. It's kind of small. I think that your sim can still walk through, or just walk through that little area. I feel like that wouldn't be too big of a deal. I think it fits. I looked at the grid and it should function, but I still need to playtest it. So if it looks a little bit different when you download this house off the gallery, then that's why. But I feel like it should be functional, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue. But yeah, I cluttered up their desk as well with some nail products and stuff. I feel like the sim would sit here and do their nails when sitting at their desk. And I also gave them a laptop, and I put some homework and whatnot, just your regular desk clutter. And I feel like it looks really cute. And I also put a big mirror in here, and I put 2 of the Pride artworks from Base Game in this bedroom. I think it looks so cute in here. They're so colorful and so nice. And then I also put a fashion poster. I think that one is from the movie Hangout Stuff Pack, or maybe from, what's it called? Get Famous. Maybe from Get Famous as well, or Space Game. I don't quite remember, but it's just a nice poster that reflects their interest in fashion a little bit, in my opinion. So that's what I went with. And then we are moving on to the youngest teenager's bedroom, who, like I said, would be a freshman in high school. So I tried to make their bedroom a little bit more on the childish, well, not childish, that sounds a bit negative, but I just tried to make this bedroom look a little bit younger, if that makes any sense. So they still have some pictures up on their wardrobe, for example, pictures of their friends from before, from their previous school maybe, or friends that they made during their freshman year already. That could be a thing as well. But yeah, this bedroom definitely is a little bit more on the younger side. They have a tiny desk in here as well. No laptop though, but I did give them a tablet, which maybe is something that they need for school. And then whenever they get to their junior year, maybe they will get a laptop then. Because obviously for your junior year, there is a lot more difficult tests and a lot more studying involved. So maybe when they get a little bit older, they will get a laptop as well. But for now, they just have a tablet. And yeah, as you can see, there are some more childlike items in this bedroom, some more posters, and just kid artwork and stuff. And I gave them a little corkboard as well. It's a little bit more colorful and bright in that bedroom, which was perfect for the young teen that I was imagining would sleep there. And then after that bedroom, we're actually moving on to the backyard. So there is a sliding door off of the dining area that leads into the backyard. And I placed some outdoor bins, obviously, and I also put a nice round dining table on this porch area as well. And then I actually extended the terrace a little bit because I also wanted to create a nice seating area, which is my favorite area of this backyard. I think it looks very cozy, and it's nothing special. It's quite simple, but I just really enjoy the layout of it. I think it looks nice and cute. And I also put a picnic table from Snowy Escape, which I think goes perfectly with this whole furniture set, and it just looks so cute and inviting. Because since the outdoor dining table is a little bit more tucked away in the corner, I figured I also wanted to place an additional picnic table so that your Sims have a couple different spots in this backyard to pick from to just sit down and relax. So that's what I decided to do. And I also placed a couple of planter boxes, and I was thinking of putting a swing set, but it was just a little bit too big for this backyard. I did end up placing it on the lot, but I don't think I recorded that. So you'll see that when we move on to the tour of this house, but I placed it on the other side of this lot. So not so much in the backyard, but on the other side of this house. So in this backyard, I put a couple planter pots, I put some lounging chairs as well, and I also ended up putting a yoga mat, which I was imagining could belong to the oldest teenager. I was thinking that they could be into yoga and Pilates and whatnot. And since they have this nice backyard, they like to practice their yoga in the backyard. So I placed a yoga mat in here, and then I just did a little bit of extra terrain paint, as you can see. And I just put some potted plants here and there. And then I also quickly decorated the front porch a little bit, and then that's actually it. So let's jump into the game and I'll show you the house in real time. So here we have the house in the game, and I'm really happy with it. As you can see, I did end up placing a swing set and I put it back here so I could fill this part of the lot up a little bit more as well. And I just think it looks really cute back there. Then obviously over here we have the driveway, and we have a gate that leads into the backyard. So for the backyard, I think it looks very cozy in here. We have a couple of planter pots and some lounge chairs with a little side table. And then obviously the yoga mat, as you can see, and some extra planter pots along the path right here. Then here we have a nice seating area and a picnic table, and I just think it looks so cozy. And then back here on the porch around the corner, we have a larger dining table and a grill and the outdoor bins as well. So then when we walk through the front door, we have a small entryway where I put a nice side table with a mirror and just some regular clutter items. As you can see, we have a half bathroom over here, and we also have a door that leads into the garage. The garage definitely looks like a garage. I am so proud of this space. It's not very usable except for the laundry machines and the woodworking table, so it's actually kind of functional. I also placed the decoration boxes in here for seasons, so you can easily go ahead and decorate your house for the different holidays. We have a car that's obviously not functional, but I do really like the way it looks in here. And I also have a bicycle parked back there as well. And then when we walk through this archway, we enter into the living room space. As you can see over here, we have the couch and the TV. I really love this sectional couch. It's just perfect for this space, and I think it looks so cute. And then I place an extra end table right here as well. And then over here, we have a nice and cluttered bookcase and and a chair in the corner. So this is just a cutesy little reading nook, and I just think it looks very cozy. Then back here, I placed this large artwork from Get Famous. I feel like the colors of this painting go perfectly with this house. And then back here, we have the open kitchen space. And I know I've said this 1,000 times already, but I am so grateful for this swatch of these counters. It just goes perfectly with the color scheme for the rest of this house. And I don't know, it's just perfect. I love it so much, especially combined with these base game bar stools. It's so nice. And then over here, we have the dining table. It's a large dining table. You could actually fit a couple extra chairs if you wanted to, but I just felt like that would make it a little bit too cramped in my opinion. So I just went with 4 chairs and a nice spacious glass table. And then when we go upstairs, we have this tiny little landing area with just a couple of decorations, nothing functional except for this small bookcase in the corner that's actually functional. Then over here, we have the whole bathroom, which I didn't show you on camera, but it's a very basic bathroom. It's quite spacious. So I did go ahead and place a separate tub and shower. So that's quite nice and luxurious. And then there is this sink, obviously, and the toilet. And I also put a laundry basket in here. I really like this bathroom. It's nothing too special, but it does look kind of cozy in my opinion. So this is the master bedroom. I kind of repeated the color scheme in here that I used for the living room as well. And then across from the bed, we have a dresser and some clothes hanging. It's a very basic bedroom, but I do really like it. And then over here, they have their ensuite, which is a very small little bathroom. So there is only a shower in here, no tub. I think I could have fit a shower tub combination if I really wanted to, but I just like that this ensuite is a little bit smaller and that it only has a shower. I still think it's a nice bathroom. It definitely matches the whole bathroom as well, which I always like to do for my Sims bathrooms. Then we're moving on to the oldest teenager's bedroom. Like I explained in the speed build, I was a little bit worried about this space being too cramped for your Sims to actually walk, but it's all functional. As you can see, I have my Sim sitting on the bed because I just play tested this, but it's all functional. Your Sim can actually reach the bed, so that's all good. And this bedroom, as you can see, is very pinky and cutesy and pastel colored. The desk is very cluttered, a lot of nail and makeup stuff lying around. And then we have this wardrobe here, as you can see, that's also nice and colorful and cluttered. And a couple of mirrors in here. I placed a couple of posters, and I just love these pride artworks in here. I think they're so nice. They're so beautiful. So yeah, they go perfectly in this bedroom. And then over here, this bedroom is a little bit smaller and it's for the youngest teenager. I love the color scheme in here. I just really like the pastel purple or lilac or whatever you want to call it combined with softer yellows. I think it looks so cute. So they have their wardrobe over here and a tiny little desk as well, and just everything that your Sim would need really. And then that's it for this build. So this family home is up on the gallery. I called it Brick Family Home because honestly, I have no clue what I want to call this house just yet. So it's up on the gallery as Brick Family Home, and it's built on a 30 by 20 in Evergreen Harbor. The house comes in at just under 97,500 simoleons. So it is quite expensive, but it is a big family home. Like, it's quite spacious. So I feel like it's okay. I'm always trying to justify the fact that my bills are always super expensive. I don't really know what to tell you. I just didn't limit my budget. It's very expensive, but honestly, I don't really mind it too much. But that's actually it for this video. So I really hope that you enjoyed this build. You can obviously go ahead and download it off the gallery like I just showed you. My username on the gallery is Simmarysims. You can also follow me on Twitter and on Instagram if you'd like. My username on there is Simmarysims as well. If you're not subscribed to my channel already, feel free to do so. And if you want to be notified of every single time I upload a video, just click that little bell icon and you should be fine. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!